Good morning and g'day, mate. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere with, of course, me, Jitty, and Mr. Icarus. And today, we need to finalize science. We finished off last episode getting up green science. It's up, it's running at the same time. There's been about 7 hours. About 7 hours between last episode and this episode. Because as of the time of recording, not necessarily the time you guys watch it, because I'm actually expecting blueprints to drop right about today, I hope. I've spent 7 hours going back to IC smelting and just adding another smelter or 20 or so. Yes, we sort of need the smelting up and running to actually feed a lot of these builds that we've been placing. I have my list right here. I have my list right here. To keep everything running, we needed to have 2 lines worth of glass, which we already actually had. We needed to have 3 belts worth of coal, which I think we have, at least I hope we have. We also needed silicon, good old silicon. I needed 12 belts worth of silicon, so they had to be manually built, along with titanium. Titanium is another big one, 8 belts of titanium. Iron, 20 belts worth of titanium, worth of iron, along with 16 belts of copper. Funnily enough, didn't use steel at all. Where is steel? Steel is here. Didn't use steel at all. It's not at all used in science. At the same time, titanium alloy, not used in science at all. There you go, learned something new. So I had to go and build a number of smelters. At the same time, I have come over here. We're waiting. Oh, really? That's full already? Can I happen to a build? Probably not. No. Can I just... Well, if I delete that... Oh. Yes. Yes. Okay, so... I want the fractionators running. Yes, we're just going to leave that there and pretend that never happened. I also had to build a fractionator build. And what I want to demonstrate with this really quickly is... we are bringing in 1 belt of hydrogen. Now, 1 belt of hydrogen is being split out between all these different fractionators. And, of course, there's not enough room to put all the deuterium. Do I have to delete more tanks? No, it started kicking in. Okay, alright. So what I've done is I've built a whole stack of fractionators. Fractionators to turn hydrogen to deuterium. Because we're going to need 5 belts of deuterium to feed our strange matter. Now, we are importing deuterium from our gas giants, but we're going to need a little bit more. Hence why I need a couple of these builds up and running. Now, fractionators. Fractionators convert 1% of all the hydrogen that passes through them into deuterium. Now, in the case of this particular one being the first in the loop, so what I have here is I have a loop of hydrogen that passes up, around, and back down, and then as it gets depleted, it gets topped back up with a fresh belt of hydrogen. What I actually have here is I have this machine, which is running at 1800 hydrogen per second, and as you can see, it has a 0.98 roughly conversion rate of hydrogen into deuterium. This guy over here gets slightly less hydrogen because he's at the end of the loop. Every bit of hydrogen that's disappeared and already been converted to deuterium means this guy is on a slightly shorter belt. So he's only on 0.95. Consequently, I have a group of 20, and then I have 6 groups of 20. The reason I have 6 groups of 20, being 120 total machines, is in theory, with perfection and many, many splitters, sorters, and everything else, I would, well, splitters mainly, I would be able to get exactly 100 fractionators would exactly turn 100 hydrogen into 100 deuterium. Instead, I've overcooked the system a little bit. I've put down 120 of them total, and as you can see, our full belt of hydrogen that's coming in is being split between this group of 60 and this group of 60 and being completely converted into deuterium at the other end. Because I still are of the opinion that chances are that 2 belts is better than a belt fitting into a splitter. We're going to run 2 belts in, which means technically I'm converting a little bit over a belt's worth into deuterium, which we're then going to use to fill these tanks where I'm bringing 3 of the belts together, these tanks, this tank where I'm bringing 3 of the belts together, and then we're taking both those and feeding them into a stack of tanks. Obviously, more tanks would be better, but it turns out I don't have any more tanks, and there was a small mess over there that we're not going to talk about. That's feeding into this first tower. The reason it's feeding into this first tower with 2 belts is this first tower is feeding out 4 belts of deuterium. It also has local supply, which means the other tower at the other end, which has to bring in 2 belts worth of deuterium, can also grab deuterium from the first tower, should it not be able to get any delivered from off-world. Because yes, we are still bringing deuterium from off-world from all the gas giants. So, that's been done. Obviously, if I had blueprints, this would be so much easier. I'd blueprint a set of 20, stamp down 6 of them in a row. Maybe even I'd take it down to 19, 18 should be enough. 18 will give me like 108 roughly. Something like that. A few less, right? Which should be okay. But yes, this is what we've done to get deuterium up and running. I'd actually like about 3 of these builds, just so I didn't have to worry about it. In fact, I think in a future some stage, we're going to end up having a planet probably close to a gas giant that already makes hydrogen deuterium, and I'm just going to make a deuterium planet. I'm just going to cover it in fractionators and just bring in lots of hydrogen, convert it to lots of deuterium, call it done. Anyway, with all that said, today's episode, we're hoping to convert some of this actual science into actual white science. At the same time, I should mention that we have 22 gigawatts worth of power available. And are we out of rockets? We might be out of rockets. We might be 100% done. That would be cool. That would be nice. That would be handy. Rockets. Here they are. Completion. No, we've still got 2,000 to go. Which we probably have, probably not on site, but very, very close to. There is 0 on site. So definitely not on site. But, you know, we should be able to finish this Dyson structure out fairly soon, at which point we'll come back and we'll add more pieces to it. We have plenty of room to buffer 10,000 rockets here, 10,000 rockets back at home. Actually, 20,000 rockets back at home, plus half a dozen in boxes, so we're pretty good. So, what we need to do is we need to go and venture to a new planet to go and build our white science. And I want to come out to the world stage. The world stage, where we have a little bit of everything. So we have our home system, Taka. We have Magna, which is where we are. And I want to go something where unique to build our science. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to this lovely system out here. We're going to go out to the black hole. Because why not? Why not? I figure, you know, we've gone from a very... Whoop, can we accelerate up to speed, please? Thank you. Go. We've gone from a lovely sun with a lovely bright blue star. Let's go for something a little bit more dark, a little bit more black hole-ish. So we're going to go out to the what is already known as the Mr. J system, because months ago, actually, at this stage, months ago, during one of my early Dyson Sphere streams for this particular series, over at Twitch. I do stream over on Twitch most weekends, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. Also throw in some intermediate streams throughout the week when and where I can. I had an early stream where Mr. J over at Twitch joins me whenever he can, definitely loves the Dyson Sphere, decided he would love a star named after him, because I just named the Taka system after Mr. Taka, who is one of my lovely Patreon members, and I said to Mr. J, look, Taka is an exception. He's been a long time supporter, but for this series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take people, YouTube members, I'm going to name stars after them. So, Mr. J, obviously, perfectly fine and perfectly happy with my answer, went across the YouTube membership system and, yeah, decided to become also a YouTube member, as well as already being a Twitch subscriber over on Twitch, and decided for $1 a month what the hell he would be happy to support the channel and support me, so he joined over on YouTube as well. So, many, many, many months ago, he decided he wanted to have the black hole. There's only one black hole in the system, and he wanted to have the black hole named after himself because he said it's very close to his personality. You know, it just sucks in everything. Dark and yeah. So, with all that said, Mr. J is our black hole, and we are just, what, 15 seconds away. 15 seconds away. I also should mention, with the 7 hours worth of gameplay, we have managed to upgrade the light speed engine up to 0.035. So we got one more upgrade on the Icarus's light speed engine. So he's a little bit faster now, but still, yeah, not terribly quick. And that there is our black hole. With its accretion disk, and hang on, let's try and just fly above the black hole, above the accretion disk. Yeah, that's our black hole. We probably shouldn't get too close. We probably should head out to that planet there, because that's our final destination. What's that? 50 seconds, a minute away. Let's not... Oh, come on, map. Thank you. Let's not have the indicator, and let's just warp there, because we can. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to land on this planet. And we're going to... Oh, I can't even see the black hole. Hey, there's our lovely black hole. Now, one thing you might notice about black hole planets is they tend to rotate very, very quickly. Yeah, somebody might have already been here and done some prep work. But it doesn't... Oh, hang on. Rotational period, 80 seconds. Every 80 seconds, this thing does a full rotation. So, yeah, you've been warned. Things fly around the outside very, very quickly. I'm not so much of a fan of black hole systems or planets around black holes for exactly this reason. But on top of that, now that we're out here, we have a few things we need to do. So, first thing I have done is I have set up basically a landing zone. A landing zone to give us all the things we're going to need. We're going to need some power. We're going to need, obviously, some solar and some wind turbines, even though the wind power is not so great. The solar energy is actually not too bad. It says 80%, power load 0%. Yeah, well, can I add some power load? Actually, do you say what you're making? No. Oh, yeah, there we go. 320 kilowatts. So 320 kilowatts a solar panel normally makes at 100%. 360 kilowatts. So even though you're around a black hole, which should have very, very low light, solar actually works pretty well out here. But yes, we have our towers. We have, you know, all the important things, belts, sorters, power poles. Probably should ship out power poles. 100 please, demand. I'm not going to need assemblers. We've got foundations, of course, because for whatever reason, the planets out here have some interesting hill structures. So I already shipped out some landfill. But the first thing we want to do is we want to go out to map view. We want to have a look around, because around both black holes and neutron stars, they're the only two types of systems where you actually get the unipolar magnets, the very, very last rare resource. The one that we did cover a couple of episodes ago, where I said they were very, very good for particle containers. The catch is they're a super, super rare resource, because they only pop up on two planets in the system, well, two stars in the system, and both those stars, one being your black hole, one being your, if we zoom out, and zoom out some more, the other one being our neutron star. Both these only generally have one planet rotating or revolving around the star. So you generally only have two sources of unipolar magnets. And that's another ice field. Well, there you go. So we have 14 million unipolar magnets, which is a good amount. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of unipolar magnets. But they are a very, very limited resource. So yeah, I don't want to start mining them up too quickly. But what we want to do is we want to find our blank side of the planet, which is over here, obviously. So we want to head over to here. We're going to follow this line out with some wind turbines, because they make great power poles. Don't care what anybody says. The fact that I can click and drag them until I can click and drag normal power poles, this is what we're going to be using. And we want to come to around about the equator. Okay, Okay, so that's the equator there. And we need to start planning out science. So science is going to involve one of these guys. I'm going to put you right smack there. That'll do us. And we're going to put in a tower there. Nope, too close. There and there. Is that right? Yeah, that looks about right. We're going to bring in blue science, red science, yellow science. We're going to bring in purple science, green science, and antimatter. Okay, so that's how science is worked out. We are going to bring out our belts. So purple goes there. Green goes there. Antimatter goes there. Blue science goes there. Red. And then of course yellow. We're going to set you guys up with shippies and shippies and shippies and shippies. We're going to set you to bring in warpers, just 100, because we're going to probably have to ship ships from both ends to get the throughput we need, because we are out on the far reaches of the solar system. Come on. And set that charge rate as high as possible. Set that charge rate as high as possible. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start putting in our sorters. So we're going to need to have item in, item in, item in, item, nope, in, item in, item in. We're also going to need an item out, which will be that belt there. And you're going to need an output. Then you're going to need a friend to do the exact same. And then you're going to need an output. And then we're going to need a power pole either side to keep everything up and running. And that should be our build. We're just going to have to, like, you know, stack the labs and stretch the labs and all that sort of stuff. In fact, things are so bad that we actually need 450 labs to get this system to run. So, yeah, we're going to have to stack them. Previously, we've been stacking them 10 high. This time, we're going to go for the full stack height. Full stack height being, if we look at the tech tree, it is a lab vertical construction layers 15. So we're going to stack them 15 high. Well, we can stack them 15 high, which means we're going to stack them 15 high. So next thing I need to do is I need to grab you. I'm going to stretch you out. I'm going to tab you guys out to the right amount so you have a gap between. So I have 2 plus... let's cut it back to. So that's 15. I need 450 labs. So that is 15 high at 30 long. Okay, so I need to have a few more labs. How do you go up a tile? Done. So, 1 tile gap for the power pole, tab, 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 done. Okay, alright, so we'll get to clearing off the extra belt in a second. First thing I actually want to do is I want to put the power poles in the middle, because then we need to put all the belts in. So, we'll start at this end, and we'll go power pole, autosave, power pole, power, more power, lots and lots of power. There, and then we'll go to, no, hang on, delete, okay, and then we're going to need to have this belt, which will be 3 on the flat, and then up to the join, or up to the raised belt, 3 on the flat, up to the raised, 3 raised, 3 raised, so on and so forth. Crap. I doubled up the power poles. Alright. destroy everything. Start again. Okay. So where were we? We were here. So there. Power. And power. That feels a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to go 3 on the flat and then up to there. And then I need to rinse and repeat this like 15 times, 30 times, whatever it happens to be. I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so with that done, my next mission is actually remove all the labs. Yeah, after building all the labs, the next thing we need to do is actually remove them because they each need a sorter on either side. And frankly, I have no intention of building all those sorters by hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to trick the dragging and dropping system. So we can see that this lab has a sorter on the right hand side at the bottom slot, so the one closest to us. The lab on the right hand side has a sorter on the middle slot. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this guy with that belt with a sorter on the bottom slot. So now they match perfectly. We're going to start here. We're going to tab them out so they match up. We're going to drag these bad boys out. And as we can see, if we look here in the middle, so we've got 2 white sorters which don't line up with anything. So they don't exist. They're not going to work. Outside building range. There we go. Okay. But as we can see, because we tricked the system, they're going to intentionally put both sorters here in the middle for us. So we need to go back to our start to grab our dinky one, because I need that, because I removed it from my hand, to continue out this build, which again we're going to have to tab out because I took it out of my hand, drag it to there. That should be everything done and lined up with all our sorters. Oh, I didn't set the recipes. I meant to set the recipes before I did the final drag. It's fine, we'll just use the paste recipe button over and over and over and hope that I don't miss any, because, you know, why not actually... Let me turn off that. That makes it a little bit easier to see. Okay, 1 on 1. Yeah. It's going to be super easy to see. I came to the edge of the world figuring it would be dark here and, like, white signs would be super cool at the edge of the world to see. Turns out it's really bright here sometimes. Okay, so we're going to turn that back on. I need to remove the dinky one. I need to put power back in there. I also want to hook this up to the grid so it stops flashing at us. So I'm going to put a power pole there, power pole there. You've got max charge rate. You've got max charge rate. We have 1 gigawatt worth of power, so we should be good. And then the other thing I need to do is I need to stack some labs. So we're going to pick up that, and then I'm going to go back to research. I'm going to pick up this, and hang on. Yes, that high. That high. I just need to do that all the way along. So I'm going to see you guys in a sec, because you probably don't need to see me click 300 times dumping down labs. Wow, 300 clicks later plus, more like 400. 420-ish? Yeah, 420-ish clicks later, it's done. And, oh my gosh, there are sometimes I wish I'd set up a macro for just, you know, clicking 30 times rapidly. Alright, so, in theory, we should be good to go. In theory. So, what I want to do is I want to head to here. No. Is there anything we need to check? No. I don't think so. Okay, alright, so what we're going to do is, yes, we're going to come here. We're going to turn on these guys. We have warpers. We have ships. We have everything. It's just a case of demand, 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 and demand. And oh my gosh, that ate some power. Okay, so we can see that we're shipping out about 4,000 from each of the planets. Blue Science, I believe, has ships coming from this end as well. Same goes with for purple. So I think we're shipping out about 3,000 to 4,000 from the other end, along with sending 5 ships from this end also grab stuff. And we're charging as fast as we can. How much power did you just use? 2.83 4 gigajoules to send one ship. Turn that off. Well, that's our that bright rainbow of ships right there is. So Magna is 37 light years away. It's a little bit of a distance. It's not quite back to the center of the galaxy, but it's close. And yes, that bright colored strip there is all our different science packs. And this is the ones now that towns have had to recharge a little bit, sending out extra packs. So yeah, it's going to be a minute for those to get here. Actually, if we can, we should be able to zoom out. Turn off the spin. And where are we? We'll just hold here for a minute whilst we wait for those to get a little bit closer. Alright, so they're almost here, and these 3 over here are our antimatter. Coming fast, and just slam on those brakes hard. Okay, so that's our ships coming in one at a time. Well, a number at a time. And we have science running. Well, we have all the sciences running except antimatter, which is still not quite here. It comes from... Actually, that's going to be the ships right now. Yeah, that's going to be the antimatter ships. I bet you. There we go. So we have antimatter, which is going to start making... What's the craft time on this? 15 seconds. Nice and short. Going to start very slowly outputting some antimatter... outputting some white science. There we go. As you can see, feeding this many towers is gonna take a second. Actually, each one of you has a buffer of 20 each. And I have 450 labs. So 450 multiplied by 2 is 900. Plus multiplied by 10 is 9,000. I'm gonna store 9,000 science packs in here. In just a buffer. Plus 10,000 in each tower. Holy crap. Yeah, things are horrible when you actually do the maths. Okay, so we can see we definitely have some white science popping out the other end. I need to actually do something with that, and that is going to be actually fit into some labs. Now, I have no idea how many labs I'm going to need. Because that's not maths that I actually did. I just worked out how to actually get the science made, not how many labs I need to chew through the science. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just bring this down to ground level. And bring it in. And then I see no reason... to what lab there? Oh, wrong button. Very much the wrong button. Okay, bring you up a tile then bring you down to ground level there. I need a sorter, a sorter, and a sorter. I need that to come back up to there. And you only need to do input. God, it gets bright. Okay. At nighttime it's very dark. At daytime it is very, very bright. Okay, I need to pull that out. I need to change that over to research. We're going to remove that. And we know we need to get, we can place them in sets of 2 and fit a power pole in the middle. So we're going to drag this out to here. And... ooh, nope, had a better idea. Okay, have a better idea, have a better idea, have a better idea. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on Icarus's little light. We're going to bring that into there, and then I'm going to run it down the actual fault line for the middle of the planet. Oh, the equator line. That's the word I'm looking for. And then I want to look at what a lab looks like here. Okay, so I want you to do research. I want you to have a sorter on that side. Research, there you go. And a sorter on... yes, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so I want to have you... no, with your sorter attached. Drag, tab, tab. That's 14. That's also 14. And then power poles, we're going to put a power pole there. Actually, let's even things out and put them on both sides of the equator. You know, can't favor the North Pole or the North Hemisphere versus the South Hemisphere. We're not going to get that argument, especially with an Australian YouTuber. All right. So with that done, it doesn't matter any packs that carry in my inventory because I can actually use them to do the research. So we're going to just start stacking labs. And like that system is still not yet fired up. It's halfway running. It has blank areas in it. Why do you have blank areas? Because you literally can't get packs here fast enough, can you? Nope, we're out of antimatter. Cool. Eventually it'll all catch up. It's gonna take a moment. Turning it all on at once was probably a mistake. I probably should have turned them on and let them pre-buffer and then connected the belts after they'd had a chance for both ends to fully recharge. But at the moment we're just gonna throw labs at the problem. And just see how far we can get. Or see if I run out of labs, because that's probably highly likely. Yeah, I think around a black hole is one of those ones, especially because we're working with bright science packs. This is one planet, or one time I actually prefer to work in the dark. Okay, I want... oh, like a lot of labs still. Can we go to here, please? I should have already shipped in labs. 100? 100? I'll accept 99. 95? Sure. 2. 2 and 1. There we go. Okay. Alright, we need a chance for things to catch up. And oh my gosh, that's disappearing in a hurry. I would like to do more research, it turns out. That one cost 20,000. So your follow-up is going to cost about 40,000, we guess. Let's do a ray receiver at 12k. Believe it or not, I thought I'd hate this technology, but I think I like it. It's only another 0.05 light speed per second. But it's not bad. That's all 30 odd. Alright, I need the first research to finish so we can confirm. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to chew through 3,000 packs. Wow. Okay. You know what? I think we're just going to... You know what? We're going to build 2 more of these towers. Just so I can make sure we're definitely going to burn things faster than they can be made. Actually, I'll just spend all the labs I've got. Yeah, what was I saying about that macro that just clicks 30 times really quickly? Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go stand over here. It's about center. Yeah, that's about center. Alright, where... I'm trying to fit it all in the camera at the same time. Alright. Actually, can I... Is that better? No, not really. Alright, we're going to stand about here, and I'm going to give it just like 10 minutes. We're going to do a quick 10-minute time-lapse. Okay? Just to see whether we can actually get all the labs up and running at the same time. Because I think we may need to have multiple towers to bring in... Like, I have 0 ships. It's not a charge rate, it's I have 0 ships. I might have to bring in 1 science pack per tower. Just so we have the charge rate. But yeah, we give it 10 minutes. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we've waited about 5 minutes, of real time. We can see the belt is not backed up. Yes, we cannot get in packs fast enough. But we are, if we go out to map view, we are getting sort of past or up to the halfway point with 3 towers running. So if I add another tower, and they're definitely preferencing the first science pack, yeah. So if I add another tower, like so, and another tower here, like so, and we again put a power pole there. Actually, can we put a power pole there, a power pole there, and power pole there. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to run blue science into that one. I'm going to run red science into that one. I'm going to throw ships in there and also throw ships in there. Run yellow science in there as well. Run purple science, run green science, and then run antimatter. And then unfortunately the ships have left. Okay, because I want to clear these and I want to reverse yellow. So I want you to be yellow. I want... actually, it's only the first one, the second one I want to reverse. So you to be red and you... Okay, remote, remote, remote. So you'll be red and you'll be blue. And then I want to do the same here. Unfortunately, it's already sent out all the ships in the wrong order. So I want you to be antimatter and you to be purple. Remote demand, remote demand. We're going to set you to be purple, you to be antimatter. I'm going to use these other 2 stations like booster lines. And unfortunately, there's going to be a bit of a delay because I've now got ships halfway between A and B. Doing weird, you know, halfway there, assigned to pick something up and now not assigned to pick things up. So we're going to have a small delay in supply. But rather than... So, from this end, the ships get assigned to the top one, well, slot number 1 first, then slot number 2, then slot number 3. Because this one is set the opposite of way around, it should mean these ships are assigned to yellow science first, then red science, then blue science. And same here, they should get assigned to antimatter first, then green, then purple. Production stats, that's something we should probably look at. Favorite number 3 in the entire star cluster. So we are looking to make 1800 per minute. We're not quite there, either on the consumption or on the demand, where our production is above our consumption, roughly in all cases. So it looks like we're okay production-wise, but we're just not quite there. Antimatter was one thing I was really worried about, because I had no idea whether we're actually making enough of the stuff. Alright, so we just need to wait for these ships to start bringing in material. Let's go jump out to map view real quick and turn off that. Wow! Poor ice. Ooh, I pressed the wrong button. So we see plenty of ships heading back to the Magnar system. The Magnar system has plenty of ships going to and from, I'm going to guess, IC Smelting. Yeah, poor air traffic control at IC Smelting. It's having a very, very hard time. A very, very, very hard time. At the same time, don't forget to sub to JD. You know, just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. Yeah. Poor air traffic control. Okay. So. No, we're still waiting. Your green science to which tower? That tower. Okay, so we're short on yellow. There's 3,000 incoming there, and there's 4,000 incoming there. You're short on not purple. So we're just short on yellow science. So we're going to wait for some structural matrices to get here. There's one. Yeah, there's somewhere in this Congo line of ships. Nope, that came from here. Okay, and yellow, white cubes are definitely being consumed. Oh wow. They're almost all of them are running. And how many are running here? Half still? Half? Okay, we're gonna need some more labs, please. Labs? That one. Let's just grab 100. We'll see how far 100 gets us. That's still so impressive. Like, yeah. Alright, so we're gonna throw some more labs on here. And then I think I need to do a round trip and see if there's any boo-boos I made. At the same time, I think we're just going to have to wait a second just to see, to wait for the system to, like, stabilize. Double check IC Smelting, see where it's up to, see if I made any more mistakes at IC Smelting. At the same time, just double check that, yeah, any of the existing builds, I didn't make, you know, a slight boo-boo with a sorter around the wrong way, because that's never happened before. Yeah, yellow seems to be our problem. Seems to be. There's no real way to know for sure until we give this a couple. Probably give this about 30 minutes, or 20 minutes or 30 minutes to stabilize. Actually, no, we can see our production rate is lower than our consumption. So yellow science definitely seems to be our issue. So, with all that said, I'm going to leave this episode here. We're going to come back next episode. If there's major tweaks to do, I will definitely talk them through next episode. If it's something simple, it'll probably get done between episodes. But with all that said, of course, I'm JD. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I do hope you've enjoyed. And with all that said, do me a favor. Tell your mum I said hi. Alright, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Bye.